Alright, yo, what's up guys? It's me, Shadow, back again with another tutorial video. This week, we're going to be going over how to make beats for Autumn's most recent project, Antag, or Antagonist, whatever you want to call it. He just dropped the project the day I'm posting this video. So yeah, that's what we're doing today, guys. I just want to give you guys like a warning before we start the video. You already heard the preview beat, so you can judge whether or not you think this beat is good. I think it's okay. I think it's, not a bad beat, but I definitely think it could be better. I think there are certain pockets of the beat that I didn't like do spectacular on, really, but that's okay because... well, I mean, it's not great. I'm a tutorial YouTuber, but yeah, I mean, we're making the video anyways. So yeah, I guess that's the intro. So let's just hop right into this video, guys. First things first, the BPM for this beat is 144. Pretty much anywhere from like 140 to 150 for these beats is going to be pretty standard. As you can sort of already see, this is somewhat of a complex beat. It didn't feel too complex making it. It's more just like a bunch of stacked layers and different sounds and presets. Anyways, these are the drums that we're going to be using for this video. Basically, really simple drums with some wonky 808s. Most of these are pretty standard 808s besides the Kenny 808. I don't really know who named that. I just found this from like a free Reddit drum kit. I'll link it down below if you guys want to use this 808 in specific. But yeah, just combining a bunch of 808s for these kind of beats is definitely what you want to do. Being that Autumn's been on this like hard beat wave where, he hasn't been making as much plug and B. He's on some harder beats. I had to use Serum as usual, and I'm going to be using my Vanquish Serum bank. I just dropped it like a week ago or something like that. I will leave it linked down below. If you guys want a free demo, that's also linked down below as well. This is the first preset that we're using. Then we are using the buzzer preset. We are using the rattle effect. The warning effect. That one's kind of weird. Then we're using the game lead. And lastly, the I don't know lead. Some really strange sounds for these beats, guys. You don't really need this bank specifically, like you can probably get away with like just using regular Serum or like default FL plugins. It's more about like how you manipulate the sounds rather than which ones you choose. However, having sounds like this will help your beats out a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of pressed on time while I'm recording this video, so I'm gonna try to not make this video too long. We'll see if I could succeed in that. But yeah, without further ado, guys, we're gonna hop into how I made this beat, starting off with the melody. So guys, we're going to start off with this lead pattern. This actually doesn't play throughout the entire beat. This is the only part of the melody that sort of like comes in and out. But regardless, this is what I started with, and this is what it's going to sound like. I made this lead mono because a lot of other sounds in the beat are going to be stereo, like very wide. So I wanted to make this sound very thin. I used this EQ to take out a lot of mid frequencies because honestly, it was just like super overbearing. Same thing here, just a second EQ. And then we have the Drummer Lab 5 preset in Effectrix. I'm going to be using Effectrix a lot in this video because it just totally twists your melodies and it's perfect for these styles of beats. You can also use Looperator, you can use Portal, all of those kind of things. And if you can't afford those plugins, Grossbeat is a good free alternative. Honestly, messing around with Grossbeat and just making a bunch of weird sounds is going to work just as well. I actually turned the mix down to 25% because it just was not going to sound good all the way up. But yeah, basically this melody isn't very complicated. It's just like a pretty typical, like annoying, screechy lead. I feel like I just dissed myself by saying that. Yeah, it's really not that complicated, guys. Okay, I need to like stop myself from saying that. I feel like I say that in every single one of my videos. I could be making the most complex beat ever. I'll still start everything with, yeah, it's not that complicated. Sometimes it is. We're going to play a C#6 that drops down to a C#5. Then the only two notes that we're really utilizing besides that is the D and the... I always like scare myself so bad when I accidentally click notes, dude. Yeah, a D and a B. The D is basic... Okay. This is not going well already. I can't be saying the D in my videos, bro. The D note is sort of adding tension to the C# because it's only one semitone apart. That's really good if you want to make like dark, creepy leads. And this B note just kind of worked within the chord progression or like lead progression that we were making. And yeah, that is all I have to say about this lead because I'm already fumbling my words. There you go. Then guys, we're going to stack this like weird ambient lead on top of it. As you can see, it starts off on the D note and ends off on an F#. Not exactly what we were doing before, but I basically just used my ear and made this like weird downward progressing lead. So basically what we're doing is we're using that lead that kind of doesn't start right away. It has like a slow attack. These beginning notes are heard, but they're not really played as intensely as the last note, and I did that on purpose. We also made it stereo in the mix. Then we're going to throw a beat gator preset in Effectrix. That basically just adds like a stutter. And then we are going to add the disco gargle preset. This preset literally haunts me, dude. I end up using this in like every single one of my beats. Who named this? I can't escape it at this point. But yeah, we're using that preset. That's what's going to give it that weird, like tonal, just like odd stuff. Then we're going to add this simple counter melody. It basically just follows the C and D notes that we were already using, and it sounds like this. You guys might sort of see the direction that we're going in here, where we're just stacking a lot of super simple patterns on top of each other. In the end, the melody doesn't even sound that complex or that like overbearing in the mix, honestly, because all the sounds that we're using are super calm, they're super simple, and they all only play for a super short amount of time. I need to stop saying the word super. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying, because I don't know if even I understand what I'm saying right now. Then guys, we're going to throw this weird effect noise on top of what we already have. Then we're going to throw another weird effect on. One more effect that's like a little bit more of a lead, but it sounds like this. I made the note stutter on purpose, you know, just add some more bounce and like texture to the beat. This is a C note, just like everything else that we've been using pretty much. And then guys, we have the last counter melody. This counter melody kind of goes hand in hand with the other counter melody that we were making. It uses the same notes like F sharp, G, A, C sharp. It's gonna sound like this. Really weird and ambient. Definitely a strange vibe. Again, we are using Effectrix with the Drummer Lab 4 preset. That's what's going to give it that weird like reverse and like dark tone. And yeah, that is the melody out of the way, guys. Hopefully my explanations made sense, because I'm going to be honest, I don't even know what I was doing while I was making this melody, because I wasn't really sure what direction to go in. You know, like a lot of the beats Autumn is using are very different. They're very new. They kind of have like their own style and subgenre. So I've never made something like this. I tried my best, but this is what the melody that we made is going to sound like altogether. Yeah, very weird, very different. Hopefully I was able to provide some guidance for you guys. Hopefully I didn't just like babble on and say some nonsense that made no sense. I do that sometimes. With the melody out of the way, guys, we're going to hop into the drums, hopefully pretty quickly, because it's not as complicated and I'm running out of time. Starting off, we have the clap. We're going to replace it with a snare, and it's going to sound like this. Just added this one extra note for some bounce. Then guys, we have a super simple hi-hat pattern. You know, we have a little bit of like the yeet influence here with the horse trot hi-hats. I tried to vary it up. You know, normally the horse trot hi-hat is 3 hi-hats in a row. I did like 2 in some spots and 1 in other spots. I kind of just tried to make like a weird, like jagged bounce, because in a couple of Autumn's beats, especially Jumpin', produced by Rio Leva, that had some weird bounce, so I did that. Then guys, we have the 808. We actually have 2 808s playing at once, so I'm kind of just going to show you guys both 808s at once so you guys can kind of get a vibe of what's going on. Did that help? Probably not. I don't know how it would work if I played both separately. It's like a super strange bounce. They both work with each other in a super strange way. So, you know, hopefully that translates well in editing. Probably not, but we'll see. What you want to do is you kind of want to make like a battle between both 808s where, you know, one is playing right after another and they're constantly switching in and out. I did a couple things to add some bounce. Like I purposely left out both 808s on the 1. The 1 is basically like the start of each bar. Usually an 808 is always playing on the 1, and I purposely didn't do that because, you know, it makes for some good bounce. And we are going to switch out to a very similar but slightly different 808 pattern. We're going to replace the 808 that sounds like a fart with the Chase the Money 808. I know it says the Meds 808, just ignore that. I switched my 808s out. Speaking of fart 808s, have you guys heard of Victorious? That kind of just popped in my head, and now I cannot move past that. What was Autumn thinking? That 808 is literally a fart, dude. Like, he just straight up sampled a fart. I'll play like a clip real quick. Just listen to this.
I take a loss, I'ma get this shit back. It's crunch time, nigga, Doritos. What the fuck these niggas be on? Now I gotta show you fuck nigga what we on.
I have no idea what he was thinking. I just had to note that real quick, but this is what the second 808 pattern is going to sound like. pretty similar to the first pattern we made. It's just a little bit simpler and it's using less intense 808s. But yeah, you know, I had to take a little bit of influence with the fart 808. You know, I just like, I had to do it. But yeah, guys, those are all the drums, all the melodies out of the way. Now we're going to go over the structuring real quick, and we're actually not going over mixing in this video because we already did. I showed you guys all the mixing while I was actually going through every pattern. I'm probably going to start doing this in my videos from now on. I used to go over mixing at the very end of the video. I feel like I should show you how I mixed each sound like right after I show you the actual pattern. You know, I feel like waiting till the end of the video is not a good idea. But yeah, structuring is super simple. It's just like a hook, verse, bridge, basic hip hop structuring. Every single melody sound besides that distorted lead is going to play constantly throughout the entire beat. The distorted lead is going to play every 8 bars. For the hook, it's going to be 16 bars. The verse is going to be 16 bars, you know, like typical hip-hop stuff. The hook is going to use the fart 808. I cannot take myself seriously saying that, but yeah. And then the verse is going to switch up to the Chase the Money 808 because it's a lot like smoother and, you know, just not as jarring. Then we have a 16 bar bridge. Usually my bridges are like 8 bars, but this is just a long gap in the beat. Sounds like this. Yeah, just play around with some EQ automation, and that's about it. Then we have a verse and outro. This is basically just the verse, and then we EQ out the last like 8 bars, you know, as an outro. We're also going to throw in these little risers before like the hook and verse and all that stuff because movement is good in your beats. And yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you watch this video all the way through the end, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys who watch my videos all the way through. If you guys like this video, leave a like. If you didn't, don't. Remember to hit the subscribe button. I post videos 2 times a week on Wednesday and Friday covering underground and up-and-coming artists, challenge videos, entertainment content, and more. And yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day or night. Peace.